The study wizard was designed to help input the basic information needed to create commonly used study types. So to begin, click on Study to create your new study. In the upper right-hand corner, to use the wizard, click on Start. Then determine what type of study you'd like to use or create. You can use an in-depth interview, which is much like a one-on-one interview where there's one person participating in one session. A focus group is when a panelist is required to attend one session with other people in that group. A multiple visit study is when a panelist is required to attend multiple sessions, but selects one grouping of sessions to participate in. And last, a basic study is where you are not selecting to participate in a session, but rather collecting data from a panelist. For this demonstration, we're going to use a focus group, but keep in mind the steps taken to enter this data are similar across the board. To begin, we're going to start with naming our project. So this project name is. Now you have the opportunity to put in a public title that the panelist will see. Next, you have the opportunity to put in a public or a project description. This just allows you to provide some additional information in case an ARCS user takes a look at this study that is unfamiliar with this study. Next is the recruitment start date. This is when you want the panelists to be able to see this project on their portal. It may be right when you publish the study, in which case I would leave the date as today in this case, so that when I do publish the study will be right there on their portal. In some cases, you may not want them to be able to see this study on their portal and select when they would like to participate if they qualify until a couple of days prior to the study. So if, for example, a study was starting on, say, March 8th next week, and I did not want them to see the study until 2 days before the start of the sessions, I would put in this recruitment start date, March 6th. This then would allow that if I publish the study today, it would not be available for the panelists to see on their portal until March 6th. For the purposes of this demonstration, I will leave this at today's date, so they will be able to see it as soon as I publish it. Keep in mind that when I go through the study wizard, I will not have a published study at the end. I will still need to publish the study at the end of the study wizard. Last, how am I conducting this study? I'm going to leave it as a web or an online study, which is the default for this system. Once I'm done with this page, upper right-hand corner, I click to go on to the next section. In this section, we will fill out our sessions. How many people do we want to participate is first. In this case, I'm going to say we want 5 seats to be able to be filled per session. I'm going to leave the length of the session at 1 hour. The time zone is going to default to whatever your session is in ARCS, or whatever your default is in ARCS. In this case, I'm going to change that so that it's an Eastern Standard Time session. Next, I have the opportunity to choose between 2 newer features. One is the manual participant review, and the other is the automated participant review. The automated participant review is when the panelist goes in and they select the exact session that they want to attend. The manual participant review allows the participants to identify multiple sessions that they are available to participate in, then having the ARCS user come back and identify which of those available sessions they specifically attend. I'm going to leave it at an automated participated review for this demonstration. Then you're going to identify your actual sessions. So in this case, I said that the first session is going to be next week. It's going to start on March 8th, and I can identify by date and time in a click the sessions, and notice that they're a 1-hour session that's automatically scheduled, and it's going to have 5 people in this session. And I can click again on the 10th and schedule another session. Notice I can always delete by clicking the X in the upper right hand corner if I mistakenly do something. Okay, I'm going to put a couple sessions here on Wednesday and on Friday as well. So I've got 4 sessions set up for this study. This page is completed, so I'm going to go to the next section, which is screening. This is where I'm going to identify what questionnaire I want to be associated with this study or project. So I can come down here, I can identify a test. I'm going to say, I want this dummy recruit. I'm going to click on that. And the dummy recruit questionnaire is assigned to this study. Okay. If I want the opportunity for the people that walk away and time out to come back and pick up where they left off, as usual, I can click this button and that will happen. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to uncheck that for this time. Upper right-hand corner, since I am completed with this section, we're going to go on to participants and select who we want to attend this study. So again, much like the questionnaire selection, down at the bottom, I can scroll through and find a list that I would like to participate. I'm going to do number 36 list. And notice, this is my list. Participants is 205. I see that has been applied up here in the currently selected participants. Now we have a newer option available that if within preferences we have set up an automatic default list for testing, we can click this button here. What this actually does is allows for a second list or study quota to be assigned to the project for testing purposes only. I will go ahead and check this box, and we will see then once we complete the study wizard setup how that shows up and can be used in the study. So everything is completed in this section. I'm going to go upper right hand corner to go on to the next section. Next, I'm going to identify incentives. Do I want to change it from the default setting? Do I want no incentives? What do I want to do? So I can click here and change it to something different, whether it's going to be tokens or currency in the amount. I can keep it at whatever the default is set at, or I can put no incentives on this study. I will leave it at the default for this demonstration purposes. Last but not least, if you've ever used the tags, or we have some different options for tags that we can put in that do different things. So one is making a study available to all participants. So if they go through, say, like an update profile study of some sort, and you want to make them available for additional studies, you can do that by clicking the checkbox next to that sys open. Maybe you want people who have gone through a particular study to also be available to participate for all new panelists. So we can check this box, and this will make this study available for all new panelists that join the panel automatically. Last but not least, you can have this study be a sys exclude. So if in the event you want only, say, ARCS users to go through this and schedule or read it to people, you can do that, and that will block this study from showing up on a panelist portal. Now that I've completed this section, I will go on to continue to activation, and it will come into the study screen where you will see all of the different options for the study. You may have additional things that you need to do, such as selecting study attributes. Maybe you need to check the conflicts or restrictions for the study. You may want to assign something different in compensation. But let's go through each one of these sections here in the study checklist, which is what was just done by going through the study wizard. So if I look here, I'm going to see the recruitment dates, and I'm going to see those 4 sessions that I set up. I can go in here prior to publishing the study and make any changes I may need to make, or add additional sessions if need be. Next, I can go to the assign questionnaire. This is going to bring me up to a screen again where I can assign the questionnaire. Notice I can check that box again if I wanted people to continue where they left off, but I'm not going to. Here is where we can assign participants. Again, it brings me in, and notice here I have my test participants that's set at 100% because chances are I'm going to do my testing prior to then turning it over and activating the study participants, my 205 people. That I've put into this, okay? So if I look here, once I've gone through and I've done the test participants, I'm going to put these to zeros to make all these people activated. In the meantime, I can go through as a test participant and not have any of the study participants involved or aware that this study is even turned on yet. So this is kind of your flipping switch to activate people. Okay, so this is the basic information that gets populated by going through the study wizard. But you still have the ability to come in to the study and make changes prior to publishing the study out to the panelists.